welcome back to With Honors, a space where we take time to reflect with the students, not just on what we've read, but also on how we've grown. In this episode, we recorded the day before our TN Ready end-of-course exams, those ominous end-of-year exams that kids always seem to expect are going to be worse than they really are. I wanted to ask them what was on their mind as they approached the end of the year. What were they proud of? What were they anxious about? What were they expecting from tomorrow? And looking back, how have you changed since the start of the year? This episode is a brief check-in at the edge of a turning point. The answers aren't rehearsed or polished. They're thoughtful, grounded, and worth listening to. Here's what the kids had to say. Thinking about after all this testing is done, Abby, Eiley, what I'm ready for now is...
I'm ready to take a nice long nap after testing.
I'm ready for summer. I've been ready. And I think that, with the weather right now, I think it's really affecting how I've been testing, because I'm just ready for this year to be over. Is that how you feel about your nap?
Yes, I've been looking forward to this nap since March.
I've been looking forward to this nap since August.
Maddie, Callie, after all the testing is done, what you're ready for now is...
No school and probably summer vacation, because I'm going for an entire month of June.
Yeah, mine will probably be summer vacation and playing pickleball. And actually, I'm kind of excited for junior year because I'm going to be doing a lot of dual enrollment in AP. So
yeah, and we get to skip class sometimes, so I don't have to go to school all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
And we get to hang out at the river.
Yeah, and you better invite me to go tubing with you, because last summer I did it and I was sad.
Yeah, I took Rayleigh and that was a really bad idea. I let her drive the jet ski and she almost wrecked it.
Oh, that's not fun. Well, I'm an experienced jet ski driver, so I think you should let me go. Rayleigh can come back too.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Addison, after all the testing, what you're ready for next is...
A break, I think, is a very good word for what I'm ready for after all the testing. I feel like towards the end of the school year, you kind of don't wake up regretting school. It's just kind of, you are waiting for it to be over, waiting for summertime to not have anything to do. But also, I feel like all the pressure is off after testing's over. That you get the most important part out of the way, or what they tell us is the most important part, at least.
That sounds a little bit subversive, what they tell us the most important part is.
Yeah, because I feel like they tell us a lot of stuff about the testing, and then I do the testing, and it wasn't as hard as they told me it was going to be.
I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of pressure around testing. That's kind of why I say it like that, because, I don't know, I feel like they make it harder on us, putting so much pressure on us to do good and all that. If you don't do good on this, whatever, they make it kind of feel like it's the end of the world. But, really, I think if we didn't have so much pressure put on us, me personally, I think I would perform a lot better, because on the day of, I'm just like, okay, I have to do good on this. I have to,
I feel like that also goes back to practice makes perfect. So in class, it's always like, make it harder than what it really is. So when you get into it, it's easier.
Right.
Okay, after all the testing that I've done, I'm just ready to enjoy my break and just take time off and get a job. Because I'm just tired of doing the same thing over and over every single day, seeing the same faces. No offense.
Well, I agree with you on that, although I don't feel like you're going to find a job, because
okay.
I've told you could have found a job earlier and just worked on weekends like I do. I only work once a week. But I agree with him, because once summer comes and I'm done with the school year, I am going to tell my boss, I'm going to be like, hey, I can pick up some more shifts. Come on.
Yeah, you need those hours.
Yeah, I do need those hours. I'm broke right now, Wesley.
Oh, yeah, and we got to prepare for the ACT.
Oh, my God, please don't bring that up. That's going to stress me out.
Larissa, Kaylee, tests are temporary, but what you'll actually remember from this year is...
all the stress, the rage, and the complete utter sadness that they forced on me, so...
I think that this year was stressful, because I'm in honors biology and English, and then I also had math last semester. Semester. And not this class in particular, but it was all just very stressful, having to pile on all of the homework and then also have to worry about EOC testing. But I think that was the main thing for me. It was really stressful because it was just all piling up on top of what I had going on at home.
I feel like it's just too hard. I try too hard. And like, I'm just trying to make sure I get all A's because I honestly crash out and cry when I get in the car and I see that report card and it has a B. I've cried more than once over that. And my dad's like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, don't tell me it's not a big deal. Don't ever tell me that.
Yeah, for me, I always grew up having to have straight A's. If I had a B, my parents wouldn't be too mad, but they would always be like, you need to get that back up. So, especially in biology, I had a B one time and I was just depressed over it.
I feel like my pain and remembrance comes from elementary school because at the end of the year, every year, you know, you get rewards for getting all A's and everything. And I'd be so close. And then that one class, I'd have a B. And I'm sitting here like, you gotta be kidding me. And it would be the last couple assignments that would bring my grade down. And I'd be mad.
That's why like EOC and like TN Ready really stresses me out because I'm more worried about my performance on the test. Even though I know that I've done this 1,000,001 times, that anxiety will never leave because there's always that part in my brain where I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna do good on this.
Yeah, and then once you get up there and start taking the test, you're like, I forgot what that even means. And I'll know it. I know it. But after I get up there and look at it and read it, I'm like, how do I do this? And I get confused and I'm like, I don't even know how. And then I'm like stressed out, so I start eating more. So just make sure, like Kaylee said, make sure you bring a lot of snacks for next year because you're going to be under too much stress. You're going to stress eat.
Yeah.
Hunter, Adam, Brian, if tests are temporary, what you'll actually remember from this school year is
my role as Mark Antony when reading Caesar. I really enjoyed getting to do that because, well, I mean, it was like a really important role in the, I guess, would it be play? Is that the word I'm looking for here?
Yeah, it is on.
But it was just like a really important role, and he had some really key parts throughout it, and I really enjoyed getting to work as him.
I think my more enjoyable parts of this class were like reading books like in the Remarkably Bright Creatures. I love that book a lot during the summer. It changed my view near the end of the summer a lot. I just really liked it.
To go back what Hunter was saying, Caesar, it was really shocking because like you were looking for someone to be at California as Caesar's wife. So I was figuring you were going to pick some girl, but then you just looked dead in my eyes and said Brian.
Mary, Abby, if TN Ready had a soundtrack, it would be...
It would have to be Beethoven's Sympathy because it's stressful. And I find that whenever I'm testing, I am stressed out in the first 10 to 20 minutes. And even though we've learned all the material throughout the year, I still find it anxious, like whenever I'm actually looking at the material. And there's probably plenty of other students that have to agree with that sentiment.
For me, I would probably have to say it's don't go insane because that entire first few minutes I'm looking at all of the questions and I'm trying to figure out how long I need to take on each question.
Zoe, if school were more about blank, you would feel way more ready for the real world.
If school prioritized the future more than it did just filling up with education, I feel like it would be more, it would prepare me for the real world. So what I mean by that is if you took classes that would actually help you and pertain to what you want to do. So like if I chose like, oh, I want to go to a history field and learn about history, I think it would be more like helpful if that's the classes I took, to have like mandatory basic math, English, science, and history classes up until high school, and high school be like a prep phase before you go to university, actually learn that, because I don't feel like there is necessarily a point to say I want to go to a history field and then be thrown complex math classes that make you want to tear your hair out when you're never going to use it. I just don't feel like I should be sitting here taking like calculus if what I want to do when I graduate high school is go teach like ancient history to middle schoolers. I don't feel like there's a point.
But Zoe, you're 15, right?
Yes.
What if you wake up at 35 and realize, I don't want to teach history? What if you wake up at 18 and are like, oh man, I really like engineering? What if
then you go back and you relearn it.
But you could have that all under your belt now for free without having to pay for it. You would be such a well-rounded person. Don't you think also, even if it's not about learning the math, having to think your way through these problems and these new formulas and making all these connections between your neurons, doesn't that also lend itself to your future career as a historian?
I feel like you can connect your neurons and your brain activity with learning history. I don't feel like I need to know quadratic roots and formulas.
Zoe needs a break more than any of us right now. Wyatt, Zane, Brody, the hardest part of the school year was not the TN Ready test for you. It was...
I mean, for me personally, it was juggling everything. Being in like multiple clubs or parts of different areas of the school can be difficult, especially when you're trying to make sure you get good grades in between your classes. You have to study for certain tests, and if those two tests are on the same day, then the night before you got to study for 2 tests. And sometimes that information can like deflect back on you. Like if you're studying for history and English at the same time, you can get those confused, and that can kind of hinder your performance, and you have to study even harder for that. And you can also balance that with something like, I don't know, chess club or band or whatever. You have to balance all of those things, and that, for me, was more difficult than the TCAP.
I kind of agree with Wyatt, because I think that I have to juggle homework between all my different classes, and sometimes it can be overwhelming for one night. Like might have to read a book for English and do science and history all at the same time some nights, and sometimes it can get overwhelming.
I think the hardest part about school was not the TN Ready. I think it was definitely dealing with my mom. She was constantly stressing me out. She was giving me a bunch of problems, and she was constantly using my dad as like a punishment, and she was taking me away from my grades and my academics. She persistently would stop me from doing what I needed to do, and she would disregard what I needed to be successful. But when I was at my dad's, I think that was where I was really putting in the work and the effort, because that's where I had a place to be and to be able to work hard and be able to put in what I needed to do.
Charlie, Bruno, Solomon, the hardest part of this school year was not the TN Ready test. It was...
For me, it was math. This year made me resent math. Having 2 full semesters of it not being easy, and, dude, having a pretty stubborn teacher for the first semester of it, math was not that fun this year.
For me, it was not shedding any hate or anything, but it was my group. They really got on my nerves. They didn't read anything for the entire year, and it's all Mr. Hastings' fault. I blame it all on him. Every bit of it.
Wow.
All his fault.
For me, it was writing all the essays and stuff and the research projects. Man, not very good at that.
Okay, so why is that the hardest part?
I don't know. There's just something about it that I'm just very bad at.
And I guess I could say mine was math and the first semester entirely. The first semester was a buttload of work.
Me and Charlie had like all honors classes and an AP class.
too. Yeah, and the fact that you had to take an AP class in the first semester and then take the exam at the end of the second semester makes no sense. So it makes it studying for it a lot harder.
That is a challenge. As a teacher of AP Lit, I have to have them in the fall, and then I have early grads who sometimes leave in December and have to come back in May after they've already been gone to take their test. But even if they're here in-house, that's 5 months that I get second block to review with them, but really, that's 5 months, you know. So that's tough. Bruno, as an English teacher, I got to tell you, support your answer. Why do you think writing was such a big challenge for you this year?
Oh, man. I was not
and
prepared.
If you see that right there, if you say I was not prepared and I don't know, I'm putting down 0 after 0 on your grade. Defend it.
For me, I guess, especially on the research projects, it was just finding like a bunch of evidence and stuff. Personally, I chose a really bad, like in the first one on the research projects, I chose like a horrible thing to do it about, and it was really hard to find anything to support evidence on it, and it turned out really bad.
Yours was about the representation of soccer in different faces of media, though, right?
Yeah, and
wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, but
how it's represented in Bend It Like Beckham, how it's represented in.
See, and I didn't do that.
Are there popular songs about soccer? Do you all have soccer songs?
The guy that played the drums to Messi.
No, I don't know. I didn't spend enough time on it, I don't think, or did much to it. So I hurt myself, you know.
I gotcha. Katie, Amberlyn, the hardest part of this school year was not the TN Ready test. It was actually
managing all of our extracurriculars, because I have a job, I have dance, we're in different clubs, and we have school. We also have friends. We also want to spend family time. We also have relationships.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was really hard, like with being on 2 cheer teams, both full commitment and keeping up to par with all of my classes. And I mean, I've been out of school a lot for competitions and stuff, and then like managing like social lives and stuff, like keeping friends around while not being able to hang out with them ever.
Yeah, I'm on 2 different dance teams. I'm in FFA, which FFA misses a lot of school, so definitely keeping up grades.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm an honors kid and I would like to get like all A's, and that's been really hard taking all honors classes.
Gabriel, Bryson, next year, you want to be the kind of student who
just gets work done and like focuses on school and I still want to focus on sports and everything like that, but trying to get my work done. And I really struggle on like reading tests, just trying to lock in and focus on them and trying to put everything aside and only focus my mind on what's at hand and trying to get everything done.
For me, well, the kind of student that I want to be is a student that's ready for any test or quiz. I lack motivation to really study, and I just free ball. Next year, I'm hoping that I can have a dramatic change and see a big difference in my grades. They're not bad, but they're not as good as I really wanted them to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I felt like you did really well with this year. I feel like Bryson did really well coming into a new environment, taking on a new big challenge, and I feel like you have too, buddy.
Well, I don't study with answering questions, but it's more just writing.
Oh, yeah. Do you feel like you struggle with writing too?
I'm pretty like not above average, but not average. Kind of that. Happy
You feel
medium.
confident with it. Yeah. And you feel like that's your area to improve for next year too.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I'm really lucky that I've had you in class this year, even if you don't love it. I'm glad for it. Bella, Cara, Maya, next year, you want to be the kind of student who
has better time management.
I agree. I think I procrastinated a lot of steps this year.
Yeah, me too. I definitely didn't handle all of the tasks I had going on outside of school well with what I had to do for school. So just putting my assignments first would be better for junior year.
I think I need to be more of a student athlete instead of an athlete and a student.
I agree. I would put my work before all the assignments I had. So a lot of my assignments got put on the back burner, and I didn't get the grade I wanted because I didn't put as much effort in.
Tegan, I'm not a scorer. I'm a
human being. I feel like that's the only right answer for that, because not everyone's perfect, and a score shouldn't be the only thing that defines you. If you get a bad test grade or bad test score, it's not the end of the world. So the only right answer for that, I feel like, is human being. Like, no one's perfect.
And maybe this is wrong, but I feel like certain people do just look at students as a score. I mean, that's what colleges look at. That's what anyone looks at, is like your score on your ACT or whatever. And like they said, I mean, not everybody can be perfect. It's not, not everybody can have that ideal perfect score, and that students shouldn't be feeling like that defines them as a person because of the type of score that they get on their test.
And some teachers do that.
I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like some teachers point out the highest grading kid in the class, and I just don't think that's fair, because like there could be other kids that
I mean,
just don't pick it up as fast as the other kids.
They could have just had a bad day that day and had a really bad test score, and that's what defines them until the next test.
I know some teachers that will call out the lowest grade. And I mean, not going to name drop any names, but I had a teacher last semester that would tell the whole class the lowest score. And I mean, if that score is you and you hear that score, how's that supposed to make you feel? Like, students would be like, hey, who was the lowest score? And then you'd be like, that teacher would be like, oh, a 55. And then you're like, oh.
And she'll start talking bad on that grade, and that was your grade.
No one else knows, but still, it doesn't matter whether anyone knows who they're talking about or not. It's still not right to me.
Olivia, Tori, after all the testing's done, what you're really ready for now is
summer and getting my driver's license because I cannot drive.
Yeah, I get my driver's license before Liv, so she's going to be calling me, asking me to go hang out every day and take her places, but I'm going to make her pay me gas money. But I'm also ready for summer, and I'm excited to get a job, honestly. Like, that shouldn't be an exciting thing, but I am excited.
finally pay for those Beats headphones that you wanted.
Yes.
And
she
quit
got
stealing
headphones.
I got AirPod
You don't have to
Maxes.
steal them from Liv anymore.
No.
Finally, she was making them dirty.
Where do you work?
At the karate place.
You teach karate?
No.
Oh.
She watches kids.
Yeah, I just
Are you
watch
the
them.
dummy that stands there while they karate chop you and everything?
Yeah.
You just take it? That's cool. What's going to be your job?
I don't know yet.
Is it going to be like finding a magic ring and carrying it back into Mordor?
No.
Before the Dark Lord gets us?
No. It's going to be, hopefully, I'd like to stay away from food as much as I can.
Not spoken like a hobbit?
No. I'd like to stay away from food, and I'd like to maybe work at a boutique. That'd be nice, because that's something I'm experienced in. It'd be nice to have that. But my birthday's May 4th, guys. So.
Oh, yeah. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
You already do photography.
Yeah,
Is that
I do.
not already your business?
It is my business.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get a more,
No, her photography
consistent
sucks, so she gets no business.
That's not true.
We got to get you some new friends. That's what we're getting you for summer is new friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need.
Kylie, Riley, Hallie, after all the testing's done, what you're really ready for right now is
definitely summer, which I feel like that's a very common answer. But I'm also really excited for, I'm not excited to go to school next year, but I'm excited that it'll be junior year, so we're kind of like older upperclassmen. That's cool for us. If you do dual enrollment classes, you don't have to be in school from 8 to 3 every day, so that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to.
I also feel like after testing, the days after, it's the funnest days of the year because we're doing all the fun projects and activities like that.
Yeah, I agree. You're just not stressing more after all of the testing.
I always feel like after testing, it's there's nothing really to stress about anymore. Well, some teachers will still give you work because they just can't sit there for that long, I guess. But yeah, most teachers let you just kind of chill out, but then there's some that are still going to be giving you assignments every single time you're in their class. So I'm hoping, Mr. Crockett, that you don't go too crazy, that you are nice to us after testing, because I don't want to be doing a lot of work every day.
Well, no, it was just going to be 4 weeks of video games and cartoons. That's all it was going to be.
Perfect.
I'm good
That's
with that.
exactly what I was wanting.
We're going to do the Gravity Falls version of Hamlet. That's what it is.
Oh, I've never heard of that one.
The Minecraft Hamlet. That's what it's going to be.
We could watch some Minecraft movies.
Oh, gosh.
Chicken jockey.